Well, urbanization is really the 21st century phenomena. More and more people moving to cities. Cities are getting larger. They're becoming more challenged socially, economically, and from a resource use point of view. But today we're in an urban world. The summer program, we study these global cities, these alpha cities. And the reason we do those is because they bring together a level of complexity that we feel is really essential for the education of future designers. We know over the next 35 years, they're going to be building cities in places they know nothing about. And you're going to be employed to go to a place you've never been to a culture you've never been to, and actually give some advice. So the purpose of that program is to give them their first inkling into what this will mean. Take them out their comfort zone and place them in this level of complexities. We took on Johannesburg this year, studying something from a distance in the first 3 weeks. Then an immersion experience, living and working in the city is fundamental. I don't believe you can really understand cities until you have to live daily life.
There's a lot of life on the street. From St. Louis's perspective, you don't just walk down the street and see people selling things on the street. There's more life and energy on the streets of Johannesburg than there are compared to St. Louis.
First when we got there, we went to Alexandra, one of the historic black townships that was built during apartheid. And when we were there, we went on a bike tour with some of the locals there, and it was just fascinating to see just how life takes place in Alexandra, and then to be there on bikes, which have a stigma there of you don't ride bikes because it kind of insinuates that you are of a certain class or you don't have means, but they're trying to reshape how people look and kind of conceive the idea of using bikes. I love their vision. I love what they are aspiring to do, and it was an amazing experience to see that entrepreneurial spirit. I just loved that.
I mean, for me as a designer, I like to look at things not just based on the physical element of it, not just based on the architecture itself, but go into research that specific area, look into history, look into economy, all those sorts of factors that feed in to create that city.
You start with how people actually live. Urban design is really fueling your design to be catered towards what is actually happening and not what you would want to happen, not what you're imposing. It's design that's not imposing, but being created and crafted using what's actually there.
So it's not just a design exercise, it's also how do you relate to a culture you don't understand, to an economic system you don't understand, building climatic areas that you don't understand. So all of these things will be the challenge that we as designers will face, and I think as educators we need to prepare our students for that.